Hello and welcome to Gabe's Games. Thank you so much for coming to see my final video on the Marvel Avengers beta today. I am so glad that I was able to actually play this beta, and I cannot wait to play the full game. Thank you guys so much for watching any and all of this content. This has been great. I am extremely eager to start playing as all of the Avengers in this world. I hear troublesome things about this game being described as a cash grab and as being filled with microtransactions. I can't wait to actually play the whole game for myself and see. But I have now pre-ordered this game, so you can expect content on it very soon. Alright, we're going to click continue and get to this game. Oh, I can't wait to see all of the Avengers lined up there, just showing off how cool they are in my opening screen. That's wicked. Plus I can't wait to actually just throw a Captain America's shield a whole bunch. That's going to be awesome. I have to admit, having a look at the full price of the game right now, it's $100. Although I like the look of the game, I would not have bought it if it was $100. What I did was I traded in two games that I didn't like as much for this game, and I got it for $30. I'm reasonably sure I could get the Spider-Man game, which came out in 2018, for about $35 right now, and that's a really, really good game from all accounts and all reports. So, $100. And some of the characters I don't really love playing as. I really want this game to be the Marvel experience that I hope it could be. But it does make you feel a little weird. $100, and I'm not sold in every aspect of it yet. So I'm so glad I got it for $30. Oh, it's so much better. $100 and Hulk feels a little bit stilted for me. He's enjoyable, but I just feel like if I'm paying $100 for this, it should be everything I want. Anyway, the beta was actually really fun. Obviously, it's a free thing, it's fantastic. I need to play the game to get my full thoughts on it. And I will. I just gotta wait and see how we go. So in this video, I'm gonna play the mission to Tame a Titan. And this mission is actually so good. It feels fantastic. I actually love this particular mission. And this beta is really cool. I still can't shake the feeling that this game is $100 if you don't trade in games for it. And I could buy God of War for less and still have such an awesome time, and God of War is everything I wanted it to be. Anyway. So I played as much of the beta as I could, and I really enjoyed the beta. It was fantastic. I did all of the actual missions that I could on the table, so I think I defeated most of the missions there. I hardly leveled up any other character except for Iron Man. I just love playing as Iron Man so much. He immediately grabbed my attention. And a lot of the time, I found navigating the world map here and the war table a little interesting. Changing the characters, changing the difficulty was an interesting process for me. But I really enjoy playing the actual game. And I just have to admit, Iron Man looks fantastic. Whoopsie, I had a little bit of a skip there.
Jarvis, will you be able to cut off their network access?
Yes. Any AIM project data you destroy on site will be gone forever.
Excellent. This is our chance to hit Monica where it hurts, right in her precious research. I'll send my best agents to help keep local security busy.
A simple, direct plan.
Jarvis, how hot do you think this area will be?
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s bombing run probably won't damage AIM's structures, but should help slow their security response somewhat.
Basically, take out some enemies, they're gonna have some friends on the ground for us, and we just gotta destroy everything.
AIM's network access.
For the moment, Commander, though they're putting up quite a fight. Note that I'm picking up an electrical overload in the server room. Might be a security system. Might be a result of damage caused by S.H.I.E.L.D.'s bombing run.
Either way, be careful.
I always am. Just not so sure about Tony.
Hey, not true.
Yeah, the banter that they have in this game is really good. Mimics the Avengers fantastically. Let me just quickly get up my leveling up system and see what I have here. So I feel like the actual amount of leveling up that you can do in Iron Man's skill tree is actually quite small in comparison to what I imagine a fully leveled up Iron Man would be. So I think that they just gave you like a small amount in the beta, or I would expect that there would be more leveling up you can actually do in the actual game. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I imagine that there would be more. If not, it's alright, it still works really well. Also, I'm just leveling up rockets. Sweet, so I'm pretty sure I recorded this bit of gameplay on the last day that the beta was actually available. And I just went home for a minute and I started to play before I had to head off somewhere else because it was a really busy day that day. So basically, I managed to get the entire mission done on brutal difficulty, and that was good. And I was thinking that I better get this done just in case the beta isn't available that evening, and it wasn't. So I was so glad I got this recording done before the last 2 hours of the beta was available. Because even though they said that the beta was going to shut at 9 o'clock, everybody tried to get access to it before that, and 2 hours before the actual beta was supposed to close, everything wasn't working. Haha! So I'm really glad I managed to actually get this done. Also, the Hulkbuster always looks so cool! Man, it's always just the best! He just feels the best! I just honestly feel like Iron Man is literally the best Avenger in this game to play as. He is so good. And I realize I just said the best a lot there, but seriously, he's just amazing! And out of the other Avengers to play, I really like him the most. I need more time with the other Avengers to actually determine what they feel like, but the only one that really struck me as awesome, beyond belief, was Cap. So I'm glad that I managed to avoid actually just falling to my death there. That was really cool. It's awesome that the Hulkbuster can fly, because he can. He's just like an Iron Man, but a really big one. And oh man, do those rockets work magic. Those rockets feel so good. Honestly, the best way to actually just take out multiple enemies. I feel like just if you need to clear enemies and you need crowd control, rockets actually feel so good and are so satisfying. The other thing is that I'm really surprised that rockets do more damage, in my mind, than lasers. I imagine lasers to be more sophisticated and more dangerous. For some reason, like more advanced technology I imagine would be more damaging. But no, apparently rockets are more dangerous, which is fair enough. Makes sense. I suppose it just always makes me think as to reasons as to why you would actually upgrade weaponry. Because the weaponry should be more difficult or more dangerous and more damaging to your enemies. If you think about it, for example, if you go from bullets to lasers, therefore I imagine that the lasers are better somehow. But for some reason in my mind, when I see Star Wars, the lasers look awful. You almost want to imagine that bullets are a more effective weapon. Just a weird thought. Like, people are shot by laser blasters, and it does nothing to the actual body at all. Whereas, if that was a bullet, that would have actually gone straight through. Weird thought, anyway. But yeah, the rockets in this are actually more damaging than Iron Man's lasers. And it's really cool because the amount of actual explosion that the rockets do, you attack multiple enemies. But I imagine that lasers would be better, but it's more satisfying to actually shoot the rockets. Hence why I imagine it's actually cool to have them as a more dangerous weapon. Oh yeah, that just feels so good. Feels so satisfying every single time you do one of those finishing moves. Did anybody else actually look at the title of this mission and go, to tame a titan? Oh, it must be Thanos! And immediately click on this mission as an underleveled up character and get wrecked. That happened to me the moment I started to play this, because I tried it on brutal difficulty and I was like, nah! I got wrecked way too easily. And so yeah, anyway, I tried this mission again once I actually had a more leveled up Iron Man, and it worked really well. It was great. It just made sense. I completed it on brutal difficulty. But this was definitely a mission that I feel like is good to level up your character for, because then it makes so much more sense. I honestly feel like I'm playing something straight out of Endgame. That massive battle at the end feels exactly like this. I feel like this is the finale of the beta, which makes sense. And you wait till you see what happens at the end of this. This particular boss fight at the end is awesome. Ah, damn, we're down. Alright, come on guys, give me a hand here. Might need a little bit of an assist. I definitely still died once or twice.
Good job, you.
Oh, Kamala!
Someone keeping score here? 'Cause I gotta be winning.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see how this goes. Because I literally just needed to stay alive the whole time. Because there are so many of those shield guys, and those shield guys are actually the hardest enemy. I think I said before, what is my hero's arch nemesis? Not a supervillain. The enemy with the shield. Those shield guys. And I feel like the best way to actually take on a mission like this is just to make sure that you keep on flying around and then fire your rockets from a distance and just stay alive. That way you more or less guarantee success. Stay alive. The AI that is your friends are actually really good. They will keep themselves alive and they will revive each other. Stay alive. Sweet, so I think that my go-to will be to switch to my rockets whenever I get overwhelmed by large numbers of enemies. Because it is great in the sense that it attacks multiple enemies, and so if I ever need to just make sure that the damage that I do is not to just one guy, and I don't want to be up close because Iron Man's melee combat is good, but if he's being attacked by multiple enemies he will get wrecked. Rockets are fantastic that way. I've also got to make sure that I just dodge those particular bombs that get the whole area, because they're actually really clever weapon for the enemy to use, and it's hard to dodge them. And Iron Man will pretty much have all of his health taken out if he gets hit by one on brutal difficulty, so you just gotta dodge that. Ooh, a catalyst! Great, that's a resource. Very cool. I give not as much attention or care to how to level up in the game until the game has actually made me convinced that I really want to play it. And then I care a little bit more. But Catalyst, that's great. I can level up. It's really, really cool. Don't know what actually makes me level up for, how it helps me yet, but I'm glad I picked up some. More rockets! I've got to say, in terms of things that I would like to see in this game, and I suppose it's really too late, because the game in its entirety is about to be released, and I'm really curious to see what it's going to be like, but I would really like to see the guys from the films in the Avengers movies in this particular game. So I really hope we see Thanos, I really hope we have Infinity Stones, and I feel like if they don't do that, then it's a missed opportunity for sure. Although I am sure that any aspect of this game is going to be great to play and really fun to play, I don't understand why you wouldn't utilize those characters, except for maybe copyright rights or something along those lines. So, we've actually managed to get past the first bunch of bad guys. And the first time that I played this with a really under-leveled up Iron Man, I couldn't get past this section. So I feel like once you get past this, you're more or less sorted. It was just that that was a really hard first bit of combat. And my Iron Man, it's only level 12, so he's not the most powerful Iron Man in the world right now. But I had like a level 4 Iron Man first time I tried this, and I was like, eeh. And having a look at some of the actual footage of the Avengers game which has come out, obviously avoiding main spoilers, but it looks like Tarleton and Monica are a huge part of the game. And that looks really, really cool. I just wonder as to if they are the main villains, and I really hope that we have somebody like Thanos as a main antagonist, because why not use some of the best characters in the MCU universe now that you have the access to them? Besides, who's actually a threat to the Avengers? Nobody really, except Thanos. Heck, I would have freaked in the best possible way if they had cast Josh Brolin as Thanos in this game. I would have been like, oh my god! Because that would have been awesome for me. And Josh Brolin was a mocap actor, obviously, when he was playing Thanos. I mean, Josh Brolin is actually Thanos. He is Thanos. No, like, of course he would have had to have worn a mocap suit for Thanos, which is so cool. And I really love how well they actually animated Thanos in Endgame. It's so good. And so in my mind, I imagine it's not too much of a leap to try and bring Thanos from the films into this game, even if you give us that little golden nugget. Anyway, I think I really would have loved it if they brought Josh Brolin from the MCU into this game as Thanos. That would have been amazing. And I think what it is for me is something that's very similar to suspension of disbelief. But when you try and create one character and you want me to imagine that that character has an identity in the fantasy world, it makes so much more sense to me if that character doesn't have 12 different versions or its most famous successful version is consistent throughout. For example, I just imagined Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like, I just can't imagine that being done too much differently. And it would have been really cool, for example, if you had Hugh Jackman playing the Wolverine in a Wolverine game. Like, it just would have made more legitimate sense to me. Same thing here. If they brought in the famous actor who plays Thanos in the MCU to play Thanos here, I would have been like, they are one and the same. It's not quite suspension of disbelief, but it would have gone, oh, there is power in that. That feels cool. As much as I still think it makes sense to have the game universe and the film universes as more or less separate, because DC has done that quite successfully, I still think that there is a level of legitimacy that would be attained by merging some of the universes together. That's what it is. It's attachment. You become attached to the characters that you know and love. And I feel like you would be way more attached to characters who you have been watching for years and or love on the big screen if they are very accurately translated here. And particularly if you know that they are legitimately translated. which I've got to say, well done actors. It looks like the cast did a really good job. Sometimes I imagine in a video game, how would the superheroes exist in the real world? Which is where my brain often goes, particularly with superheroes and their abilities, or people with supernatural abilities. How they fit into the world around them, what their level cap is, how powerful are they, and what are they capable of doing. Also, where does the source of their power come from, etc. It's always really cool to just think about it. Which is why I love Endgame, because I feel like they really thought about everything they could have. For example, the amount of time that it actually takes for the Infinity Stones to be used. There's a use limit that even Thanos and the Hulk really struggle to use it, and that it does damage to them because they contain all of the power that it would take to destroy the universe. Just really cool thoughts. There's logic and consistency, I feel, to a lot of that film. I would say all of that film. Some people like to nitpick, but I feel like that film is amazing, and for me, flawless. This poor one robot's just copying it. Literally everything I've got is just aimed at this one guy.
The team are no longer a threat.
Sweet, so we're doing alright. Now we just need to make sure that we defeat Alpha Squad and get on to the next part. I really hope that they include a whole bunch more characters from the MCU in this game. I feel like the beginning of the game was alright, but really the best parts for me have been playing as Iron Man and the Abomination boss fight. The Taskmaster boss fight was alright, and I really like playing as Black Widow. I feel like she's a cool character, and I'm going to play more as her, and I like playing as her. But that, as an introduction to what the game is capable of doing, that boss fight was pretty standard. Like, it's a very simple boss fight when you've given us characters who are supernatural and who have godlike powers. Giving us a boss fight so small in comparison to what, I don't know, could have been almost a Thanos boss fight is interesting to me.
Be alert, Avengers. AIM still has a lot of security in the area.
Let them come.
Okay, cool. So I really like looking at the Avengers in the elevator and actually just checking out how they all fit. I can't wait to see Thor in here just chilling. It's going to be really cool just to see all of the Avengers chilling in the same space. Really like the fact that they do that in that
Watch your backs out there.
loading screen as well, where you have all the Avengers just chilling in the plane. / Quinjet.
Oh, you picked the wrong ship.
Yeah, going on and off. I really like what he said about how he hopes that his Iron Man stands alone because he thinks that Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man stands alone.
Enemy spotted.
Okay, they look interesting. Watch out for new tricks.
Tricks are all they have when measured against an Avenger.
While you defeat AIM's forces, I will hack into their systems and destroy their data.
And I think it's a really good attitude to go towards thinking that the creators just got to create. Let the artists go at it. Let the actors act. Let the directors direct. Let the filmmakers filmmake. Let the gamers create games. Like, I think that people have just got to go and do the thing, you know? And then obviously people who do things really well should get the praise for being really good at what they do. But I think that that's the case with most people. When they actually try and do something, they try and do it well. Otherwise, you're just trying to stop somebody from doing what they do well. And I'm not really sure that any of us really has the right to do that to anybody else. You know, being an obstacle to somebody's success is just being an obstacle to somebody's success. Nobody ever really has the right to do that either. You know, you just think that if more people actually just spent time focusing on their own success and less about trying to focus on trying to bring down other people's success, maybe we'd just be getting better at doing what we do. So yeah, anyway, I rambled a little bit there, but basically, let the creators create. I see no reason why we should ever stop them. Don't think we ever have the right to stop anybody from doing what they do either. we're really not too different from each other either. So, I'm not sure why you'd try and bring somebody else down. It just makes no sense. Linking that to let the creators create. And enjoy Nolan North as Iron Man, because that's dope! And if I could be cast as Iron Man, I would say yes in a heartbeat, and I'd be like, yeah, that's awesome! And, you know, an actor's just gotta act. I suppose I see no reason to stop him, or really stop anybody from doing what they're doing. That felt really good. Yeah. And then I suppose, if everybody just keeps on making their projects and creating their creative stuff, some stuff's obviously going to be better than others, but the really good content stands out a mile away. Anyway, just got a little bit sidetracked there. But yeah, if something's good, it deserves praise. Doesn't necessarily need some person bringing it down. The good things get ahead. So I feel like we're almost through this mission now. Okay, I wonder what's on the other side of this elevator. Ooh boy, I'm excited!
That felt good. AIMCOM's chatter indicates they're struggling to respond to our attack.
We've done everything we can. Time to head home.
We could send a card, you know, to apologize. Dear evil mega corporation, sorry we destroyed your illegal data.
I would like to see them read that card. That'd be dope. This looks really pretty here. Although I've heard that the elevators are actually really good frame rate loading sections, and that elsewhere the game actually kind of bugs out
They
sometimes.
couldn't send the research anywhere. Jarvis made sure of that.
The data was transmitted to a local server that came online once we attacked the arc reactor. It appears to be a weaponized mech.
Monica's plan B.
Holy shit. Oh my god! Look at that! That's what we're fighting? It's huge! Look at it! That's epic! Oh my goodness, I can't wait to take this thing out. That's wicked! Oh my goodness, this robot is huge! I don't even know where to attack! I don't know what its weak points are. I think maybe the guns on it? That's just wicked! Look at it!
Its feet are overheating.
Oh, it's so cool. I actually feel like this is hugely ambitious. I mean, if it's not gonna be the Mad Titan himself, this is actually pretty cool. I suppose Titan can just mean huge war robot. Like, wow! Just wow! This is pretty incredible. It's not the largest thing I've ever seen on a PS4. Or even on a PS3. I've seen larger things in the PS3. I remember playing, this is going to be a weird example, but Call of Duty's Black Ops had this map where these gigantic titans were just, these gigantic robots were wandering around the actual map, and you could kind of hop in them and then out of them. That was really cool. But this is just very impressive. I feel like this cemented the idea of this game for me as epic, because this was the last thing that I played in the beta, and so my impressions of the beta were heavily influenced by playing this, and I went, yes, this game looks good! I was very impressed with this fight, and I hope that the actual game has similar levels of chaos and mayhem that I can actually play in the real thing. Like, well, I don't understand how you can play this and not go, that was good! It feels great, particularly when you're attacking his head. It feels like a really cool moment where you just get to wail on something. I understand, having had a look at some of the criticisms and complaints of the game and of the beta which have come out, and I feel like some of those criticisms can definitely have place, but I don't understand how you can play this and go, that isn't good, because that is very, very good. Heck, it made my jaw drop, and if the game has enough moments like this in it, I am sold. I literally haven't played anything this epic in a while. It feels incredible. Man, this is very cool. A Titan. A big Titan. I really hope that we actually get to face the Mad Titan. I feel like it would be such a missed opportunity if we don't get to face the Mad Titan. And they should. He's like the threat that the Avengers face. And when you go about constructing a foil or an opposition to a mighty force like the Avengers, you've got to think about what would really threaten the Avengers. And only a few characters actually have the force and power available to actually threaten such a mighty force as the Avengers. Thanos is definitely up there. And so, as much as you can make a villain like Tarleton and call him the threat to the Avengers because of the way he plays games or whatever, I just don't imagine that a random dude would be a great antagonist to the Avengers. You have the Avengers, you have the MCU, you have the comics, you have all of the characters inside the universe of the Avengers. I hope they pick a good villain. And I've now pre-ordered the game, so I'll have to wait to find out. Ooh, let's go and help the kid. I honestly feel so in awe playing this fight. It just feels epic. Even though I don't know where to attack and what's going on some of the time, I feel so like I'm watching such a great spectacle that I can't help but drop my jaw. I can't help but go, oh my god, that is amazing. I can't help but go, wow. Yep, okay, here we go. Honestly, this is the coolest part of this whole fight. When you take out the head, it just feels so good. I don't know what it is about it. It just feels awesome when you come down and you smash it. Bustin' makes me feel good. This feels so cool. Oh my goodness. If Monica created a war robot this big, I'm so curious as to what her actual goal is. Again, if you're going to create a villain for the Avengers, they need to have a goal. They need to have a reason for existing. And I love Thanos' reason. And then also his reason to retire afterwards makes so much sense. It's really cool. Creating a war robot this big, I hope was not just so that the Avengers had something to fight. I hope she was planning, like, continent domination or something, because this is huge. Which is why I love that moment in Captain America the Winter Soldier, because it's awesome when the helicarriers come up into the sky. And not just because they are just another big thing that needs to be destroyed, but because you feel the urgency in the threat that they possess. They were created so that you could actually take out all of the world leaders and change the course of the history of Earth. Now that's cool, that's threatening, that's urgent, there's a reason for those machines to be created. I hope that Monica has a plan to create something that big, other than create big thing. And I'm curious what a reason could be for creating such a large warbot, because it is fantastic. But I really hope it isn't just so that the Avengers can have something to fight. Even though it's awesome for the Avengers to fight that thing, I hope that there's a method to the madness and a point for the warbot to exist, and therefore a reason for the Avengers to take it out. They called it Monica's Plan B. So yeah, anyway, I'm really curious to see what the reason is and what's going to happen and where this is going to go. Loving it so far. It's really, really cool. The other thing that I find in fighting a giant mecha like this is that often your health isn't attacked that much directly because there's so much happening on the screen at once that it's very hard for them to actually program such a large AI to focus specifically on killing you. But that doesn't usually detract from it unless it's really obvious. This just feels epic to play. But definitely easier than the beginning of this match, where you had all the bad guys attacking you at once.
Not doing so good.
Oh man, this looks so epic. The warbot's getting blown to bits. It looks like it's just really badly on fire. It just looks epic. Oh, it's so cool. This section is just so cool. Just a quick side note, if you'd like to see me actually play through the game, please leave a like and subscribe, that'd be great. And I've got the Avengers game. If I record and upload it for you, that'll be great. We'll see how we go. Please leave likes to show me that's exactly what you'd like. Yes, its head showing! Oh man, okay, this is the last part which is going to take out its head. Oh, so cool. This feels so unbelievably cool. This warbot is on its last legs. Yes!
This worked. It sends a message to AIM. We're coming for them.
And their backup plans.
Damn straight.
We've done everything we can here. I'm telling my people to head back. For real this time.
Me too. That felt good.
Alright, mission complete! To tame a Titan. Oh my goodness, that felt like the most incredible, jaw-dropping, and spectacular thing I've played in such a long time. And that was my impression of playing the beta. At the end there, that was the thing that stuck with me. If the game is anything like that, that'll be my impression of the game as well.
Bombing AIM, smashing up their stuff to help a person feel like they've had a productive day.
You said it, Commander. Thanks again, everyone.
The more we hammer AIM's research, the weaker they'll get.
Works for me.
Now that was a 5 out of 5 experience. That was incredible. Alright, I think I've finished playing the beta here. Thank you so much for coming to see some more of Gabe's games today. And if you like this gaming content and would like to see more, please smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.